You know what? Ever since I was a young child and I began martial arts, there were many martial arts icons and stars and celebrities and just people that I looked up to throughout my development as a young martial artist. And they all had their place in my life and has had their place in my life in terms of my development as a martial artist and an enthusiast even in martial arts. Uh, Jackie Chan was one of those. Now, Bruce Lee, as most of you know, is my very favorite martial arts master. And he was the very reason that I began martial arts in the very first place. But Jackie Chan is in the top five of the martial arts masters that I looked up to as a developing martial artist over the years. And there seems to be amongst some that Jackie Chan is not a martial arts master, that he's a martial arts performer. Especially in a recent response to one of my other videos, someone made that assertion that Jackie was a comedic martial arts performer and that he can't fight and that he does not have any true martial arts experience or ability, and he's just simply a martial arts performer for the screen only. And I strongly, strongly, strongly disagree. Let me say this. If that were true, the individual that made this statement or made that statement, I would venture to say 99.9% chance that if he stood in front of Jackie Chan, Jackie Chan would crush him into little pieces. So I say that just on the strength of the acquired skill set that Jackie has had over the years as a stuntman, as a martial arts performer, since that's the term that he wants to use to identify him, and as an athlete. If you watch Jackie Chan's earlier works, Fearless Hyena, Drunken Master 1 and 2, Meals on Wheels, Police Story, various other things that Jackie Chan appeared in, to include Medallion and so on and so forth as he began to get older. Just his raw agility, flexibility, strength, and talent, all of the things that he was able to do, not to mention that he appeared in two of Bruce Lee's films, China's Connection and even Enter the Dragon in the Tunnel. Jackie Chan is worth his weight in gold as a martial arts master and professional. Now, this is what I know. Jackie Chan, along with many other martial arts masters of the 60s and 70s that appeared in many of those Run Run Shaw Brother movies and Golden Harvest movies and so forth, when martial arts was really, really popular. Then when Five Fingers of Death came around and Bruce Lee's Enter the Dragon and China's Connection, Fist of Fury, or Big Boss if you will, Return of the Dragon, when all of these things were blossoming, Jackie Chan during that time was very, very popular. Now, Jackie, what I began to say was that many of these martial artists in these films during that time, these guys and even women went to school in China for acting, for comedy, for martial arts, and then some. So Jackie was one of those individuals. He became a stuntman. He chose the genre or the aspect of martial arts that he wanted to depict on screen, and that just happened to be a comedic approach to martial arts. That by no stretch of the imagination means that he wasn't a martial artist. That's just what he chose to do. He wanted to do the comedy side of his craft, as opposed to be this brutish, victorious fighter in everything that he did, only without the comedy. Jackie enjoyed and loved comedy, and it's apparent when you watch his body of work. But just because he's doing comedy along with the martial arts performance, if you will, does not negate his ability and his strengths as a martial artist. Jackie is a true, or a tried and true, great martial artist that happens to be a comedian on screen as well, an actor on screen as well, using martial arts as one of those aspects of his craft. But he is a great martial artist, whether he does comedy or not. I have a sense of humor. I will tell jokes sometimes to my students and my friends. So, just because I tell my students and my friends jokes and I'm sort of comical from time to time, they'll tell you that has absolutely nothing to do with me and my credibility as a martial artist. And I work in a retail store. I have a retail business, have many customers. I don't talk about martial arts to all of my customers on a daily basis. So I might joke with them, talk about everyday issues and family problems and things like this from time to time. But in no way does that mean that I'm not a martial artist. It makes no difference what your hat is that you're wearing. In other words, if you work at a car wash, a movie theater, or even as Walmart as a greeter, or even at McDonald's serving or waiting on people, it doesn't take away the fact that you are a martial artist. So what I'm saying in essence is this: just because Jackie Chan is doing comedy on screen along with martial arts does not mean that he's not a martial artist. It just means that that's what he chooses to do. That's what he enjoys. That is what he's passionate about. So I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I'm going to say this again. Jackie Chan has been around for about 50 years or more. He has dozens and dozens of films to his credit. If you go to his earlier films, look at his physique. He is trimmed down. He is in excellent shape. And even at about 60 years old today, if you look at him now, it's about the same. He's in very, very good or even excellent shape compared to most of the so-called masters in martial arts, especially Americans. And this man seems to never quit, never retire. So he is a great martial artist in his own right. Notice that I said in his own right. Even if he chooses his genre to be martial arts and comedy, as an actor, it doesn't take away from him being a martial artist, because he is a martial artist and not simply a martial arts performer. Now, I want you to weigh in on what this individual said about Jackie Chan just being a performer of martial arts on screen and not a real legitimate martial artist. And let me know what you know or what you believe about Jackie Chan. Is he an actor doing some sort of performance of martial arts on screen and has been for many, many decades? Or is he a martial artist that's actually fond of comedy in that side of martial arts genre as well? Inquiry minds would like to know. Put it in the comment section below. And so long.